Welcome to Charts and Hearts. I'm Sarah, and she's Lindsay.
And together we are working our way through an epic list of rom-coms in order to find and categorize tropes in the hopes of creating the nerdiest spreadsheet podcasts have ever seen.
So, today we are talking about, my fave, 10 Things I Hate About You. Yay. Yep. Friend of the pod, Matthew, was asking what movie I was most excited about, and I was like, 10 things.
Yeah.
And it's here, finally!
It's here, finally. It's like episode 9 or something.
I know. In, June, it felt really far away.
I know it did. Oh, this movie is so good.
So good. So 10 Things I Hate About You is an adaptation of The Taming of the Shrew, and it came out in 1999, which is the same year that I graduated high school, if you've been paying attention. So
perfect for you.
Yes, very perfect. I've seen this movie
a million times. Yep.
So
Did you... I guess it didn't work for you because you graduated in 1999, but I know me and many other people tried to convince their English 12, because that's when you read Taming of the Shrew, to watch this movie in class, and all of them said no, and I think that that's rude.
That is rude. I did not study Taming of the Shrew in high school. We've
covered this. I think
yeah,
it's something to do with you did fancier English or something.
No, I took regular English, but I did grade 12. We did The Tempest, I think.
Oh yeah, because my sister.
I've never read The Taming of the Shrew. I've
Hamlet.
seen the play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did Hamlet in university.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I did The Tempest, which is fine. Yeah.
It's no movie starring Heath Ledger.
No, exactly. We didn't watch an adaptation of any movies, but I do remember watching filmed plays from the West End in London or something of various Shakespeare plays.
Yeah, we watched the old Romeo and Juliet, which it was grade 10, so it was 2 years after Baz Luhrmann came out, so that's just really rude.
Well, the Baz Luhrmann one is not very high school appropriate. It has a lot of guns.
Yeah. And Macbeth, I think we also watched. I feel like it's there's a Laurence Olivier. He was also Hamlet, but
I feel like we might have watched
somebody. It was in black and white.
I think we watched the Kenneth Branagh Macbeth.
Oh, fancy!
It was very good.
We definitely did not, because it was bad. The sword fighting parts, and you're just like, what is this?
Yeah, it's very Errol Flynn.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, I've seen it too. I don't know why. Maybe different years. I can't remember. Maybe we just watched it for fun, because I was that's a strong word. I was a nerd in high school, so we're like, well, we'll watch that instead. Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about 10 Things I Hate About You. It's very good. Everybody's great in it. Allison Janney plays one of the funniest roles, but also the least appropriate guidance counselor maybe ever.
It's so true.
So inappropriate, but she's so funny.
She's so incredible. And this is the weirdest thing to think about is it was filmed in 1999. So she filmed this and then went and filmed West Wing.
She filmed this on her hiatus from West Wing.
Yeah, because there was a huge break between the pilot and pickup, so it was probably in between. It was just so crazy to think, but that she's the same person. Obviously, she's hilarious in West Wing, but this is just amazing.
Well, it's a different level of hilarious. I feel like if she'd been doing if West Wing had come out before this, she would not have gotten this role.
Yeah, definitely.
Because she would have been now she's back to playing more kooky, weird characters. But for a long time, I don't think she had time even.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're filming 26 episodes or whatever a year of a show with all the dialogue.
Yep.
But yeah, so awful, so inappropriate. And it's not we're meant to find her a good example of a guidance counselor.
She's not a good adult. Yeah.
No. She's very funny. Actually, both the other teacher, the coach, is also awful.
Yeah.
But
I think we talked about this with She's a Man, but that was more definitely tropes of like responsible adults who are taking care of the kids who aren't paying attention so they can go off and do stuff. This is a little less of that, but I think as we go and do more high school movies, we'll definitely find the unreliable narrator showing teachers being quite ridiculous.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and it's like they don't want you to find the teacher too like relatable.
Exactly.
Also.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be like the funny background character kind of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is fun. Yeah. It is very key on the 2000s aesthetic or like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, because it's late 90s. I feel like I was writing down 2000 aesthetic and was like, is this why the 2000s were what they were? Was it this movie? Maybe?
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely, it was all right in all the same stuff
I know,
of like,
but yeah,
the low-rise bootcut jeans and like crop tops and the ponytail with the little bits of hair hanging out the front and the center part.
Yeah, and just like the Skechers and the Prada backpacks. But like all of these things.
I had neither ever.
No, me either. Cameron wears a lot of bowling shirts.
Yeah, the bowling shirts. Yeah. And the like the preppy kids of like the polos and stuff. Like definitely.
Yeah, and what's his face wears a lot of tearaways.
Oh yeah, so many tearaways. Oh man. Yeah, so I think like this probably stretched it out, but lots of that aesthetic was happening before this. So yeah. So it's definitely has fantastic aesthetic, but it is a movie that's 22 years old, and we recognize that. It's got some, normal problems you would expect from being 22 years ago with the words they use and stuff, but it also is a plot based around gross, possessive men and women, which, again, not their fault. That's Shakespeare, but, a little bit their fault. So yeah, they could have called it out more, but,
yeah,
it's very normal for your dad to control every aspect of your life, right?
Even Cameron, who's supposed to be like the hero of the day, and the nice guy. Like, I'm not trying to be sarcastic by saying nice guy. Like, he's supposed to be the nice guy, the antithesis of the Andrew Keegan, but he is literally obsessing and plotting behind this girl's back to a girl that he hasn't really asked out. He's barely talked to.
Yeah, he's seen from across walked past. Yeah.
And knows that she's not allowed to date. And then when he asks her, she says, I'm not allowed to date. And he's like, okay, let me manipulate everyone in your life so that you can go on a date with me. And then gets mad that she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like she's allowed to not want to date you for whatever reason, whether that's she's not allowed or she just doesn't want you. And I don't know, like, I feel like more movies, and I think more so hopefully in real life, like, people are more supportive of their friends, like the fake friend kind of thing. Yeah. Gabrielle Union's character, Chastity, is like so awful.
Yeah. She's horrible.
She's just horrible, like that competing over men trope and like just backstabbing your friends. I mean, it happened in high school, but I feel like more like recent high school stuff that I've watched has less of that.
Yeah, I think so. And this is also, we'll talk about it more a bit later, as Bianca's arc of kind of waking up a little bit and noticing that, like, she was probably exactly as awful and would have done the same things.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, we don't know. She didn't have the opportunity.
They're young, though. Like, they're sophomores, so that's grade 10. So, like, 15. So, yeah. And then we have the, like, stereotypical super strict dad.
Yeah.
Which, like, fair enough. I mean, if you spend your whole day dealing with like, pregnant teenagers, and also you're a single parent just trying to do your best, obviously, with, like, if he's a obstetrician, he has crazy hours. Like, yeah. And also, like, your kids grow up when you're not paying attention. So, like, you deal with that the best that you can. I think he turns out okay.
Yeah, I think he definitely does at the end. I think he could trust his daughters a little bit more.
Yes. Yeah,
And,
he totally could.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Like, they're both of them in multiple times are like, we don't want to sleep with men. We don't, like, we know how protection works. Like, you know, like, this is the thing that's obviously been talked about in their house for years.
Yeah.
So they're not going to make those mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, yeah.
I wonder if he knows about Kat and Joey when they were, like, first in high school, and he doesn't want to talk about it, but he also, like, he knows, but they don't know that he knows?
Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, he also has very inconsistent rules. So, like, Kat's allowed to go to, like, a club.
Yeah.
That's, like, a not an all ages club. I mean, she, like, I don't know. It's weird because we don't have that at all in Canada where you can, like, go to a club but not drink. It's here you can either go to a club or you can't. So
yeah. It always confused me about the bronze.
It always confused. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so, like, she could go to, like, a not all ages but slightly age restricted club for a concert, but she can't just, like, go on a normal high school date.
Yeah, like, go to the movies.
Yeah, but then also, like, later they can't go to a party even though they're asking to go to a party, not to go to a party with a boy.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
Like, yeah, and, like,
I mean, from his perspective, from the dad's perspective, Bianca and her friend are just gonna go to a party, like, down the street, basically. I don't know. It seemed weird. Yeah. I mean, and, like, right to want to not have them go.
Yeah, and I know that it's for plot, but, like, if she had said, I'm going to Chastity's house to study, and then they went to the party, he would have no idea.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously that's for plot, but I'm like, you're letting them go out in the world. They, like, Bianca, Kat has a car. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was inconsistent, but, you know, I think he was just, like, a single parent just trying to do his best in a crazy world.
Yeah, crazy world.
Yeah, speaking of that party, oh man.
Oh, man.
I mean, I didn't go to any high school parties like that. I don't know if high school parties were like that.
No, it's one of those things. Obviously, this is a movie, and it's a teenage high school movie, and that's the thing. And this high school is a real high school, but it's absolutely insane. And obviously, it must be very big. So everybody's at this party in this big house as well.
Yeah,
but it's like jam packed.
Like, but that a school that size could have been like a 3,000 person school. Like, it was a huge school.
It was really big.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing about that is that they're all wearing blazers. Like, not ironically. Like, it's Cameron and then
blazers
I know, that's the thing. Like, Cameron and Michael, like, Michael's like such a dork and, like, putting a blazer on, but then, like, Joey was wearing a blazer.
But there was, like, casual blazers and, like, fancy blazers. Like, I had a corduroy blazer that I was obsessed with.
That's true. So did I.
And it was very much like that preppy, but not too preppy. Because, you know, like, sweater vests were a thing. It was a whole,
It's true. It was a thing that we all were a part of.
The blazers didn't stand out to me. But, yeah, the packedness of it and, like, the people who just, like, high school kids who just have, like, giant speakers and
and like, if they really want to be DJs, I don't know.
Tequila? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was weird. But
oh yeah, and then I'm sure everybody who knows this is already knows this is the table dance that Kat does is how Julia Stiles got Save the Last Dance, which is ridiculous because that's like a 10-second dance scene, but I don't care. It made Save the Last Dance happen. So
yeah. And, like, and she's very, like, good and charming in it. Like, she... Yeah, she's very good. And then we have the sentiment, which is good and is true, but then gets twisted so badly of, don't let anyone ever make you feel like you don't deserve what you want.
Yeah, like, I was writing it down, I was like, oh, man, Patrick's such a nice dude. Saying this, I was, like, starting to write it down, I was like, this is a bad sentence now. Because incels are
if what you
present.
Want... Yeah, so, like, if what you want is a consensual relationship with somebody, that's not something that you can only deserve. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and that's like, very true. Yeah. And then at this point, Patrick, or Cameron is, like, at least they've talked about it. Like, he's mad that she doesn't want to go out with him at this point. He's not like, you don't want to go out with me even though I orchestrated all this madness? Like, that's not why he's mad. He's just mad that she lied to him. So I'm like,
yes.
yeah, he deserves to be mad at this point. So
yeah, and you can be mad that somebody doesn't reciprocate your feelings, but you need to just like those are your feelings that you need to deal with,
and then
on your own.
That's the end.
Yes.
And then you just stop.
Yeah, and you can have like, and you feeling like bad about it doesn't change how they also feel. Like it's
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, consent is a great thing.
Yay!
And I feel like teen movies should have done a better job of talking about it.
I agree. I think it's probably getting better. I don't know, the 3rd season of Never Have I Ever comes out tomorrow, so I'll report back. But
yeah,
I think like if you look at our movies, but also like I know teen movies didn't start with us, but like raunchy teen movies did. Because you know, Annette and what's his face weren't really being raunchy when they're on the beach. But I feel that like I'm not saying excusing it, like, but our movies walked, so now these movies could run. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and also like in like 1950s, like it wasn't like, not saying it was okay, but like it wasn't just teen movies that were like on issues of consent. It was like, well, this boy likes me, so therefore we're getting married and having sex. Yeah. Like, that was very normal, whereas like that is not normal. Yeah. I don't know. 90s movies, man. It was like this weird in-between. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But also then it's like based on a, you know, Shakespearean play. So, yeah. I don't know. But, you know, maybe this isn't the best movie to talk about consent with. Yes. Ugh. One thing about this movie that, like, I think makes it feel really realistic, and I think is part of why I don't want to call it a period piece, but like it feels so realistic, is because it was all filmed on location. It wasn't filmed in any sets. Like all the houses, the high school, the shops, everything was all on location.
You can tell, like, especially in the shops, because they're all like small. They all look so small because they're normal size, but they have cameras in them. Yeah, that's really cool.
Well, and like the house that they live in like feels like a real house. Like, I saw a thing and I was like, oh, this is out of date because it's in, you know, like in a nice area. Of Seattle. It was like, oh, the house is on the market for $1.2 million, and I was like, oh, this is
no, it's not.
Old piece of trivia. It's probably on the market for like $7.
I know. It was like when the Sleepless in Seattle houseboat was for sale, and I was like, I bet we could all raise enough money.
Yep. Oh man. So good.
Speaking of filming at this school, this again, 1999. There's a lot of ska, or like swingish ska, including Letters to Cleo.
Oh my gosh!
Just watching the end just always makes me think of Ben Wyatt and his shirt. Could a depressed person make this? He's just wearing that shirt at that scene. It has nothing to do with Letters to Cleo, but I love Ben Wyatt, and that's my stance.
Any excuse to talk about Ben Wyatt.
Exactly.
The music in this is so good. Like, I definitely discovered like indie-ish musicians from the States that I didn't know about from the soundtrack to this. Like,
I know
indie is a strong word, but like formerly indie.
It's really ironic to us that it starts with 1 Week, which everybody's like, oh, it's so popular song, and I'm like, you guys don't know. You want to talk about indie rock bands?
It was so funny because
very successful.
It like in Canada, by the time 1 Week came out by Bare Naked Ladies, like Bare Naked Ladies had been around for like a decade. Almost basically like all of the 90s. This was like their 4th album or something crazy. They had done the whole like indie thing, and 1 Week in the States at that point was very much like a one-hit wonder, probably still for a lot of people. Like that whole album like did really well in the States, but like 1 Week came out and it was like classic mainstream Canadian band releases hit song. So like the fact that it was like the one-hit wonder that the popular girls are singing to in the car is like
whatever.
No, like everybody listens to Bare Naked Ladies in Canada.
Still, like, they just had a new album. They're also continuing to release good music. So if you don't know that, go back and look.
Yeah,
some good stuff out there.
I'm going to see them in 3 weeks.
No.
2 weeks. Sorry.
Sad faces.
Lindsay's out of town. Yeah, no, like they're still kicking, they're still great. Still releasing, I mean, 1 week is a good song, but they have way better songs than that.
Yeah, way better songs.
Yep. Oh man, for a Seattle movie, yeah, it never rains.
Never rains. Which
probably wouldn't stand out to most people, but
like I know I wrote this during like a very long drought in the Pacific Northeast, but I don't care.
Yeah.
To quote the movie we're doing in 2 episodes from now, it rains 9 months out of the year in Seattle.
Yes.
So more now because of climate change.
Indeed.
But,
indeed. Especially like at the like end of the school year time of year. Oh man. Mm-hmm. Do you know how many like end of the school year parties I've had rained out?
I think the biggest thing, because I thought about it at the end of the movie, and it's not that it doesn't rain, it's that there's no days where they're filming on rainy days and they're trying to make it look sunny. Like they may have just done all the inside stuff then, but they had really good weather. Like it was in the summer. They all talk about how it was the best summer of their lives. It's very adorable.
Yeah, but, so cute.
Like there's no, like you can tell, like we were just talking, like she's the man. You can tell in the background if there's clouds, and like if you ever watch Once Upon a Time, they're like, it's totally not raining. What are you talking about? I'm like, I can see the rain.
Yeah, it's just your people are under giant tents, or it's lit in such a way that you can't see the rain. But yeah, and like none of them have like rain jackets or appropriate clothes. Yeah. Also, like when you see the wide-legged, super long jeans coming back, just
it's not good.
Take it from experience. They're awful in the rain because they get so soggy. The water like wicks all the way up to your knees and then pulls them down. And in the 90s, they were low-rise, so they didn't need any help falling down. And then your legs are wet forever.
Yep. Forever. And then like
forever.
You get home and you take your shoes off, and then you just have to walk on that until you can get to your bedroom.
Yeah.
And then you gotta like hang them up over the shower.
Oh my gosh.
And
yes.
Hope that they dry for the next day.
So many times.
Like it's just.
Oh yeah. Just say no to too long wide leg jeans. Yeah. Okay. Let's summarize the tropes because this is getting out of hand with like 90s and local stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, it's like the angry girl trope of like she's just, teenage angst trope, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we have what we had in She's the Man, crazy high school hijinks. Like this high school has super weird cliques of like cowboys and stuff.
Yeah. The cowboys and the Rasta kids were weird. All the other cliques were like,
well, the coffee people were a bit strange, but I guess that also goes with a super fancy high school, and Seattle.
And also the 90s was the start of like that whole coffee culture-y thing.
Yeah, I know. I was just watching one of the first episodes of Frasier, which is amazing, and he's like, "Where's my coffee from Starbucks?" And it's like, it's 1994. Nobody knows who Starbucks is yet. It's like he's living in Seattle, and so he think like they're saying it because it's a fancy, like low-key Seattle thing.
Yeah, weird. Starbucks was like a tourist attraction. I mean, it's still a tourist attraction, but like it was a thing that you went to when you were in Seattle back in the like early 90s. Yeah. Okay. Controlling father with daughters. Yeah, we talked a lot about that. Super controlling. We'll see more of it. Mostly in high school movies, but other ones too.
But we will see more of this actor in better roles, so that's great.
Oh, yes. He's so good.
Yes.
He is really funny.
He's amazing in this as
some of
well
the
as
physical comedy in this movie is hilarious. Like the exercise band. Oh my god.
The exercise band and that whole blurb that like those are one of the ones that my sister and I knew off by heart. Damn Dawson River kids sleeping in each other's beds.
Yeah.
We're going out with some guy. I don't care how dope his ride is.
Yep. Oh, so good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so back to the possessiveness. Sneaky deal to get the girl. Like, again, kind of she's the Manny, and so very Shakespearean. That's the whole point of Shakespeare comedies are sneaky deals. So, but we will see more of that later as well.
Yeah, and like, guys being possessive of girls who
Mm-hmm.
just because they have a crush on them, like, and
Yeah.
I can see that with your friends. Like, if you're friends with somebody and you have a crush on somebody, like, it would be really crappy for them to ask out the girl that you have
Mm-hmm.
a crush on. But like another guy in high school, like, you don't have
You have no
nothing
Mm-hmm.
there. Yeah. And the like good girl bad girl dichotomy of Kat and Bianca,
Mm-hmm.
which like at the end gets super twisted on its like flipped over, which is great. When Bianca gets to punch him in the face. I mean, violence is bad, but you know, self-defense.
Sometimes it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, as we said, prom movie.
Yep.
No choreographed dance in this one, but we'll get there.
Yeah. No big dance sequence, but well, I mean, no big like choreographed dance sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although at the end, or not the end, them, Kat and Patrick dancing to, they like slow dance.
Yeah, to Letters to Cruel to Be Kind.
To the Letters to Cleo song, and it's like,
yeah,
this is not a slow dancey song. But anyways,
no, it's so romantic. They're so in love.
So in love. Okay, does this pass the Bechdel test? I mean, I guess
it does. Like they talk about their mom.
They talk about their mom. She talks about college,
and her and what's her face from Center Stage talk about prom.
Yeah,
like which is slightly about boys, but also just about prom.
Just about prom. Yeah, they talk about but that's kind of about it. I mean, Bianca and what's her face talk about Skechers and Prada backpacks.
That's true. It's true.
But again,
but
problematic test. Just because it passes doesn't mean it gets a pass on like
no.
being
Yeah,
a perfect
I give it a
feminine movie.
I give it a D.
Yeah,
passing grade D because of all. It's mostly about talking about boys, and she flashes a teacher, which is not good.
Yeah,
don't do that.
No, so sketchy.
And some of the time when two female actors are talking to each other, it's a guidance counselor asking for words about bratwursts. So
indeed,
also not good.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about some hot takes because we love this movie, but we still have some opinions.
Yeah. So we all know Bianca isn't that great, and she that's the point. She's like ditzy, whatever, and then she gets her comeuppance, and she has agency, and she has an arc. She's still, I don't know. I have no sympathy.
I mean, you only have like 90 minutes to get to know her, so
I guess that's true. It's just bull. But the biggest thing with this rewatch is that Kat also is not great. Like, angry girl trope is whatever, but she is so privileged, it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it gets called out by the English teacher about her book choices, but then she rams a car with her car, and she has zero consequences.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very much the, like, privileged white feminism.
Yeah.
Okay, Lindsay's more mad about this one than I am, so I'll let her take that one.
Well, it's just like it's in the IMDb trivia like 7 times. People have been talking about this for 22 years. This poem gives me feelings, but it's not that great a poem, and there are more than 10 things.
Yeah.
So even the way that you can interpret it different ways, it's like 11 or 13 depending on which trivia you choose to believe.
But does it make me cry every single time?
Yes. Doesn't matter. Still makes me cry. Feelings.
And here's I don't think it's that spicy a take, but you know, you do what you will. Girls that are bored by or don't have time for high school boys aren't that rebellious or lesbians. They're just smart. The boys aren't ready for them, and they are waiting until there are boys deserving of their attention and time.
Yep. Aside from Heath Ledger, who is not perfect, and also JGL, I love him, but he's not perfect. Like, none of them know what to do with a girl. And like aside from like the most cardinal gross boy way of like, what is this? Yeah, but like where can I stick this thing into?
How to actually have a conversation with a girl. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, but also, choosing to not date high school boys when you're in high school isn't that rebellious. It's just like deciding that you want to move on with your life.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Kat does like Kat's an angry girl who thinks she's a feminist.
Yeah.
But she does have a lot of points about, like, you know, like going to prom with a dude with just a boner can grope you, like.
Yeah, and like going to prom if you want to go to prom is great, but like the obligation to go to prom because it's like a rite of passage, or like the obligation to like date the popular boy because you're vaguely popular, like date who you want to date, go to the activities you want to go to.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Time for some pie. Fashnik. Okay, we've got 5 entries into this. This
so hard
pie chart. Okay,
put all of them at the top.
I know. Are they all equal? No, they're not equal.
No, they're not equal.
Okay.
So we haven't talked about the Shakespeare mentions yet.
There's
it's not really a trope. It's in the last 2 episodes because that's the theme of the month.
Yeah.
But Patrick, Petruchio, Verona,
the
Padua,
girl's last name is Stratford.
Kat is Kate. Bianca, I think, is Bianca, isn't it?
It's Bianca, yeah. It's Catherine and Bianca in the movie, or in the play.
Yeah. In the
play. There's more, like, her friend's, like, Total Obsession, which is a vaguely movie with William Shakespeare.
Yeah, Cameron quotes Taming of the Shrew. Michael reads a sonnet, and he does something else as well. And
there's
also
lots
calls
of
her
random
the
Shakespearean links. Yes. Yeah, it's so good. Okay, so Shakespearean mentions, I mean, they're pretty key in this. I'm gonna go 25?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, this one's the lowest one, but it's also the most important in my life.
Indeed.
And it is the overwhelmed, underwhelmed meme, because I've been saying that every day of my life for 22 years.
Yeah. You can be overwhelmed and underwhelmed, but can you just be whelmed? Like, it's a 45-second scene, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it like a solid 5%.
Yeah, no, I think so, because like if you say whelmed to anybody our age, they will know what you're talking
and also
about.
I feel like lots of kids who were not even born when this movie came out, like 20-year-olds right now, would know that meme even though they haven't seen the movie. If that's you, watch this movie. I know we just spoiled it all for you, but Shakespeare.
Watch it anyway. Can't spoil Shakespeare.
Late 90s toxic masculinity. I feel like there's like a special vibe. Special is the wrong word for it, but like that special vibe of like it feels modern because it's to me because it is like when I was in high school, but it like also feels so like icky now. Yeah. So yeah. I don't know, I don't want to give this a high score, but it's kind of a key part of this movie.
It's a big part of this movie.
What do you think?
30?
Yeah, that's where I was going to. Okay, so we're at 60. Yeah, okay. Swooning over Heath Ledger. He is a pretty guy.
He's a pretty guy.
He's both like very attractive and very good in this movie.
He is. It's
like
kind of ridiculous.
It's insane. I want his hair.
I know.
I don't actually want curly hair, but yeah, I know.
No,
I wanted that like wet look, curly, wavy hair, and my hair does not do that.
Nope.
It is very straight and very thick. Yes. No, he's really, really good in this movie, and just it makes me like miss where his career could have gone all the time, and yeah. Yeah, like he's good in lots of other things, but he's just so good in this.
He's so good in this movie.
I don't know, like 25?
Which
also,
we're
calling out Heath Ledger because of the age that we were when we watched this movie, but like, all the young actors are really good in this movie.
They're really, really good, and JGL is. When I first watched this movie, I was like, is he kind of attractive? And then he keeps going, and you're like, yep, he's attractive.
Yep. Yeah, Attractive Man. It is really good. I'm having a brain fart. Julia Stiles is really good in this movie.
She's amazing.
It's not a greatly written part because it just isn't, but she's really good. Yeah, and like went on to great things. So that leaves us with 15%?
Yeah.
15% epic soundtrack.
Yeah. This is the movie that got me to listen to Notorious B.I.G.
Oh.
So white.
That's random.
Well, because it's the song she dances to.
I know.
On the table.
Yeah. No, I know it's Notorious B.I.G. I don't know. Yeah.
It's good warm-up for the Save the Last Dance soundtrack.
Indeed. All right. What do we think is next for these guys?
I thought about this a lot, and I think they'll last the summer. Yeah. But she's going to Sarah Lawrence, and
yeah, who knows what he's like? Do. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. He
might not graduate. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see them. Yeah, I don't see them as long term, but I also don't see that as like a bad thing. Like he seems like he would just be a really great high school boyfriend.
Yeah, I think that they would have a really nice time.
Yeah. What about Bianca and Cameron?
I think that they'll definitely last high school because I don't know how old Cameron is. I guess he's a senior.
Is he a senior too?
They went to prom.
Yeah, he went to prom.
Yeah. So I think it'll depend on where he goes.
Yeah, if he was going to college local, like somewhere in Seattle, then yeah, I could see them like staying together.
Yeah. I think they'd have a very special relationship, and at some point she'd give him her flower. In a very feminist, consensual power empowerment way, but it still there'd be a lot of candles.
Yeah.
But that's just how I feel about their relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, and then it's similar, like Patrick and Kat, similar to what we were talking about with Johnny and Baby. Like if they met up later in their lives, probably hook up.
Yeah, or I think just like have fond feelings for like this crazy, like their crazy prom story that like yeah, you know, like they meet up 5 years later and like all their friends know their crazy prom story. Yeah. They have a really good just relationship. They talk. Yeah. They have really nice conversations. And stuff. And they have stuff in common and
which is why it's so extra swoony. You're just like, oh my god, he's so nice.
Yeah.
He could like a girl like me.
Right. Okay. I think that probably brings us to the end of our episode.
Unless we want to talk about this movie for 3 more hours.
I mean, I could, but I mean, just go watch it again.
Just go watch it again. I know.
Because it's so really good. Great. Yep. We will be back in a couple weeks with our last Shakespearean-ish adaptation. It's not really an adaptation.
Much looser.
We are going to be doing Shakespeare in Love.
Cross-dressing is back. Hooray!
Yay. Everybody's problematic fave.
Cross-dressing and Ben Affleck. Yay!
I mean, Ben Affleck's having a good summer.
I know. I was just gonna say he's having a good summer. I was gonna amend that. Cross-dressing and Ben Affleck's British accent. Everybody's favorites.
Yes. Yep. Anyways, don't forget that you can rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts, and you can find us on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook at Charts and Hearts Podcast, and we're at Charts and Hearts on Twitter.
If you want to hear more about this month's theme, you can take a listen to our Patreon episode, which is now out. For Shakespeare Adaptation Month, we're doing the new West Side Story, 2021. We talk a lot about swirling skirts and racism, and also Star Trek gets in there somehow because that's who half of us are.
That's how we roll.
And we tried really hard, and I think succeeded, to not make a sad pie chart, even though it should have been. But you should listen because it's good. And we've got some super exciting stuff coming for fall. And if you want to join our Patreon, you can find us at patreon.com/chartsandheartsclub. It's just $2 a month, and you can help support us keep doing this ridiculousness. Indeed. Watching movies that we love. It's horrible. I hate it.
So horrible.
Talking to my best friend for 2 hours.
Somebody's got to do it. So let us know your thoughts on this movie, or give us any suggestions. And in the meantime, can somebody write us?
This is our outro. Where's Letters to Cleo? We need someone to play an epic song on the roof of a castle school.
Bye.
Bye.